Good evening, all. What's happening? Sorry, I was again trying to put my AirPods in and was having troubles. But we're only, I don't know, what, a few minutes late. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad you're here, Keith, John, Anthony. So, brother, it's good to see you, man. I mean, I saw your shirt. We talked for a minute before we got on. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. 5 days in Vegas is a lot, to say the least, but I'm happy I had the chance to go there and compete with the best horse players in the world and be one of them and get this cool shirt and this cool hat from ExpressBet. But yeah, man, I'm great. Finally recovered. Lost a lot of sleep. It is 24/7 handicapping when you're playing NHC. I mean, there is no time for a break. We were in the contest room from about 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. every single day. And, you're trying to figure out your plays for that current day while trying to think about tomorrow at the same time. And so a little bit different of a Vegas experience than what I'm used to. But I wouldn't have traded it. I wouldn't have traded it for anything, man. It was awesome. I mean, we had an awesome table. Me and Scotty sat together. Mike Somich from the Racing Dudes, you guys probably know him as Somo Bombs. He sat at our table as well as a guy named Tom. And man, we had a great time. We just talked horses for 4 days straight. So what else could I have hoped for?
You must have met Anthony. Anthony said it was fun. He said it was nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
Yeah, no, I was awesome. We got to see Anthony. We got to have a drink at the bar right by the lobby at Bally's. Bally's put on a great event for us. I mean, it was top class with all the restrictions going on. The fact that we even had the NHC was a blessing, and so we were happy to just be out there and competing. I wish I would have done a little bit better, but I think I learned a lot in my first NHC that I've got to start taking higher priced horses because I mean, even when the day seems like it's chalking up, these guys were making up ground left and right. I mean, the winner, Justin Mustari, I mean, he got to $374 with a total bankroll on a $2 win place format, which was sensational. I mean, that is incredible, especially how much day two chalked out. It was like the difference of 2 days. The day one, it was either a bomb or it was chalk, and I was trying to play a whole bunch of horses that were 6 to 10 to 1 and couldn't really connect on anything besides Giacosa at Saratoga. And then day two, it was like all my 7, 8 to 1 shots were hitting. And by that point, I was so far behind the 8 ball that I was trying to take shots with bombs coming in because, that was my only hope. But I hope to be back there in January. I know I've still got to qualify, and I'll be playing in a bunch of qualifiers here the latter half of the year. And, dude, once you play in your first NHC, you do not want to miss another one.
That's good, man. I'm like struggling with my headphones tonight. Like you could probably have us sitting there trying to fix them. I got the kids in the background playing video games. I never played in a format like that. Like I get it though, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. And, I was able to have a career day at Saratoga playing the pick 6, pick 5, pick 4, and pick 3 on Saturday for the Travers. But, they had a couple of mandatory races, including the Travers and the Personal Ensign, where Essential Quality and Latruska both won at like, what were they, 3-5, 1-2. So it was kind of an odd way to have a mandatory race on those big races where nobody was really going to make up any ground. It was great for me because they were singles on all my tickets. But as far as a contest play, it wasn't the way to go. But I think we learned a lot. And, that Scotty Longshot just kept on hitting and hitting and hitting. And I probably would have been better off had I played the contest just using the Scotty Longshot algorithm, Funny how that always comes back to bite us when we don't use it.
I know, right? Like I totally agree. Like, well, you told me a story, right? Where was that? Del Mar, the Scotty Longshot, right? I don't remember. You were telling me.
Saratoga, yeah. So today,
Yeah.
get this. So Scotty's doing his show this morning, and I give him a call, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Scotty." He's like, "I'm on a show right now, right?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "What else would I be doing?" So he's on the show, and I was like, "You got to look at Saratoga Race 3, the Scotty Longshot top win percentage at 68%, and the top GSR horse won for fun and was not the favorite at Saratoga." So if we could go there, we got to show the viewers this. I mean, this was an absolute must-play slam dunk if you didn't have it. And so, today, September 2nd, Saratoga Race 3. Off the turf today on Saratoga races, unfortunately. But we've got a big card coming up for Saturday that I'm excited about to get us kind of excited about Kentucky Downs on Sunday.
It's around the corner, dude.
It is.
Lots of
Look
turf
at this.
racing.
Look at this. Top GSR. Scotty Longshot, 68% win off of an 8-1 morning line. Now, I know there was a lot of scratches and off the turf, but was not the favorite. How many times do you see a horse not go favored that's a 68 win, top GSR, Scotty Long? I mean, when 3 of the algorithms line up, you have to absolutely hammer this horse, and I did. So,
well, and like, look at the field here, dude. I mean, a bunch of one-time winners, and I mean, 1 for 27, 1 for 12, 1 for 7, 1. You know, I mean, like, who knows what this horse is gonna do, and gets a bunch of scratches, right? Like, that's pretty crazy. That's insane.
yeah. Oh,
I mean,
dude. So the Scotty Longshot, dude. I'm telling you guys, you can't leave it off. You can't afford to. We were sitting in the contest room on Sunday, and Scotty was live in the pick 6 to 4 horses in the last race, and you know we kind of determined that it wasn't going to be the Scotty Longshot. There was another horse, the 5, that was 19-1 that had a 9-2 EE morning line, and that was kind of the decision to make. And the pool carried over with the pick 6 to the Scotty Longshot. And so that was just killer, man. I mean, if you guys,
yeah, it's they kill you. So who? Greg said always include the Scotty Longshot, right? Only if Rosario rides. I mean, it's deadly, man. I mean, it hits all the time. So. Did you see Greg gave you a score update? Ohio State's up 10-7. Can you hear me? Brady? Oh, dude.
Sorry, Justin. I think I lost my audio there for a second.
Yeah, so did I.
That was weird. No worries. But, kind of the moral of the story is that don't let the Scotty Longshot beat you, because I feel like time and time again, when you're throwing away these tickets, it's because the Scotty Longshot wasn't on it. And, I mean, we learned a lot about the platform this weekend, too. I mean, it's different from playing a live money event to playing a tournament like this where it's win place, where, even if you get the second place horse that's a bomb, the place might pay out more than a decent price horse to win even. And so, there's a lot going on there. We learned, that class, obviously prevailed in some instances, but some other horses that had some high GSRs even stepped up in class. And so, I mean, the system was absolutely on fire at Saratoga. I mean, it hit a pick 3 straight to the top 3 GSR horses 3 times in a row, and they were all prices. And so I think we're on the way to where we want to go.
Dude, that's where, I mean, and in the tournaments too, the win place is so different, right? Than like pick 3s and doubles, and you can find a massive amount of value, right? And if you can hit those cold, you love to do that, I know.
Yeah, absolutely. I played a straight pick 4 ticket with 4 singles on Saturday, and then I played another ticket with 2 deep by 3 singles, and then 3 singles on a pick 3. And you're going to miss a lot when you're doing that, but when you hit and you're right, you're really right. And it just seemed like some of these big days, especially at Saratoga, whether it's the Whitney or Traverse Day, a lot of times they seem to be very formful. And so, Greg, shout out to Greg Olson in the house. He was mentioning Jackie's Warrior against Life is Good, and I'm sure everybody saw that ride by Mike Smith. Oh, man, it was one of those very confident rides. And he really didn't ask Life is Good to go until he already got passed by Jackie's Warrior on his second effort. That was all Joel Rosario there.
Yeah.
Life is Good's going to be tough going forward. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I agree. I totally do. I mean, switch barns, right? And like, I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
So you want to go over the late pick 5 here at Saratoga on Saturday? This will be closing weekend. And then Justin and I are going to do a special Kentucky Downs show next week. That's a kind of a nice boutique meet in the middle of the late summer, early fall to kind of get us into Churchill again and Santa Anita and then on to Breeders' Cup. So here we are.
So what did they run? They run a week, right, at Kentucky Downs?
It's like 8 or 9 days, and I think they run Sunday and Monday, and then I think they're running like Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's kind of a weird schedule. I was thinking about going next week, and I'm just not 100% sure yet.
I mean, you and I both love the turf. Like, why not? I mean,
absolutely.
It's every race is on turf, which I love. It's the only one in the country, right? I mean, they race. It's a week meet. I heard the purses are good too, and I've seen it hit prices, right? It can be very difficult to play, I've heard.
Yeah, and the one thing that you're going to definitely need to note about Kentucky Downs is you cannot be 80% and run well there. You have to be 100% fit, or else, I mean, it's uphill, it's sideways, it's a zigzag, it's down the hill. I mean, everything you're getting at Kentucky Downs than a straight track. And so I think the most fit horses are the ones that prevail there time and time again.
Yeah, Keith said the purses are off the chart. Welcome, Cindy. Good to see you. All right, so what's the score of Ohio State?
Oh, well, they just threw an interception, so that's not great. I mean, Ohio State got off to such a great start. They looked like they were going to roll over these Golden Gophers, but now, I mean, it's 10-7, and now Minnesota has the ball at like the 50-yard line. I don't know what's going on. College football, man.
I mean, it's football season, though. It's crazy, man. It's here. All right. Grade 3, race 8. So what's this? The Saranac. I thought this race was wide open. The big thing I noticed is on the 7, there's a massive overlay on the morning line at 8-1 versus 8-5. And from a GSR perspective, this horse does not want the turf. This horse wants the dirt. And so I think you can play against the 7. I just play against it. It's Irad Ortiz and Ristic.
I think that's a main track only.
Is 7. It?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, they're going to be on the turf then based on the weather. I don't, with Irad and public sector, I thought so he's going to ride the 1 is interesting. I think Saya's on the 4 is interesting on the front end. And then I thought that Like the King, once Like the King is the Scotty Longshot has got to turf, this is a different horse. So I think from a long shot perspective, Like the King is Scotty Longshot all day. Like I could see it happen. So I think that you could pull it off would be like, I would play the Scotty Longshot here. What do you think?
Yeah, so this race came down to 2 horses for me, and it was all determined on pace, on why I'm using 2 horses instead of just singling the 1 public sector. Let's talk about public sector first. The 1 horse Top Scotty pick, 41% win percentage, and a 6-5 EE morning line, vying for second highest GSR. You get Ortiz on this horse off of Pratt, and this horse has the back class. This horse just won the Grade 2 Hall of Fame by a length. Has run in some, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, a Grade 1 race, and ran in the Pilgrim last year, a Grade 2. So from a straight class perspective, nobody's really running with the 1 here. The one thing that I thought was interesting is the pace dynamic. If you look at the 4, Never Surprise, this is a Todd Pletcher horse that Luis Saez is going to be riding. And in this horse's maiden, he was able to sit off the pace. And then in his second start, going 8.5 furlongs on the turf, he was able to go gate to wire and win pretty handily. And so I found that very nice that he's going to be on the front end and that I really didn't see much else challenging him to the outside.
You think the 4 is just, you think he's going to go to the front and be gone with Louis?
I think so. I think that's going to be the plan here. And depending on how the turf course is playing, public sector is one of those horses that, I'm singling him in a lot of tickets. But I also think that there's a possibility that if Louis gets loose on the lead, he has a chance to turn this field away. But if you look at who this 1 public sector has faced, I just don't really see how the rest compare against this field. if you're trying to steal one on the front end with Never Surprised, I could see it. But most of my tickets, at least my A horse, will be public sector.
The only thing I don't like about public sector is from when I look at him and I say, okay, you won at Belmont in or you missed in a 72. Like you broke your maiden, then you raced in a 70 really well. Really slow fractions. I have a note from that race all the way back here. And then goes in the Breeders' Cup, doesn't run, way too tough. Can't win in a 72, and then comes back and finally wins in a 68. Can't win a 74, and then wins in a 68. So for me, that was my only thing here is, can this horse really win at a 72? And that I thought, again, with like the King you're getting, this horse wants turf and can for sure improve, I think. Wesley Ward. But I'm with you maybe a little bit on the 4. I think that Saez could get on the lead here and could race really well and could run well. And this horse can improve.
Yeah. The thing you got about the 4 is he's going to be fresh. To me, if public sector doesn't fire, that's the only way public sector doesn't win this race. And that next horse that it would be on my ticket would be the 4.
Yeah. Well, it's going to tell us to use 1, 2, 4. So that's the decision. All right, the 9th, so allowance race. So I didn't look at this, but I can handicap on the fly. This looks wide open when I look at it, unless the 3 is anything special. But the 3 is interesting from a morning line and win percent perspective. But what'd you come up with here?
Yeah, as far as this race goes, I thought this was the race that I was going to spread in the most in the entire ticket. This is not a race that I would necessarily want to start a pick 4 on, to say the least, because I really don't have a strong opinion on any one of these horses. You got the top pick, the 10 English Breeze for the David Donk barn going off at 5-2. And, David Donk is only winning at 8%. And so, when you have a top pick and a horse that could be favored on the morning line and is favored at 5-2, that screams a wide open race for me, at least. And so, when I was looking at the ticket generator and with the budget that I put in, I felt like I could go 5 deep in here. So I was like, okay, how are we going to find the 5 horses that I'm going to want to use in this leg? And so, we started with the 10 English Breeze kind of as a play against, as I didn't want to get beat by this horse. But Manny Franco and David Donk have teamed up 50 times and are only 2%. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
2%. Yes.
Whoa.
50 times and they're 2%. So in this case, I would not mind actually looking at tossing the 10 here that is going to be favored.
I wouldn't even put this horse on my ticket, bro.
Yeah.
I would not even put it on my ticket. It is top Scotty pick.
I feel you and agree 100% because at 2%, I will take my chance. Who is not 2% and who is actually 28% is Todd Pletcher and Irad Ortiz Jr. on the 6. Just okay is not okay. This is the Scotty long shot. And what is our golden rule? If you're going to go 3 deep or more and you don't include the Scotty long shot, you might as well not even play the ticket.
Yep.
Because you're going to be behind the 8 ball. So this one threw a clunker in last time out in Allowance Company off of his maiden score at Belmont back in June. And so this horse is going to show some tactical speed, I believe, with Irad. I see this horse sitting 4th or 5th and then just trying to pounce at the top of the lane. And at an 8-1 morning line, I look at this horse as a major threat here. And so I'm definitely going to be using the 6. And I also was interested in the 5 here. This is a 10-1 morning line horse that Joel's going to be getting up on, coming out of Monmouth Park, that went gate to wire last time out. Horse is showing a respectable GSR, but really all these horses in the field are showing the mid-60s to low 70 GSRs. And so I don't really think that there's much concern on who's going to like or hate this turf here at Saratoga on Saturday. The entry is also interesting just because you're getting 2. And Dylan Davis is riding well. The 1A Kara's Dreamer, I thought fit. Hasn't really stepped across the winner's circle in a long time, but one of those horses that, if it's the perfect setup for them. And then the 1 I expect to scratch because this is a dirt horse. I do not expect that you're going to run both of these on the turf on Saturday. The other horse I was looking at was the 3. This is Joe Sharp and Luis Saez looking to fly. This is a sprinter that's turning out after last time routing for the first time and was able to get the victory. And so that was huge for me. Even though it was only a 48 SOR, the fact that this horse, I think, wants this longer distance because he had tried sprinting and now is going longer, that said a lot to me. So for me so far, what I needed on the ticket was going to be the 1, the 3, the 6, and the 5.
Toss the 10. I agree, dude. There's no way we're going to put that horse on our ticket.
Yeah.
You know, so the 4 is 1%. Might as well cut that off. The 8, Leperoux's riding. I guess I'm going to let him win if that happens at that type of price. Lascano's riding the 7. I mean, so 1 back here in a 46. Only won 1 in 14 tries. I mean, really has to improve, though. I mean, these were some weak races. I mean, and they did step the horse up in 2 races. I mean, it ran okay here and then just didn't run here in a 54. So, I mean, I don't love. So you said the 1, no 2? Did you say 1, 2? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6? Oh, you're on mute. There you go. Can you hear me? Yo. No? I guess we lost Brady. I'll let him come back. So I tossed the 10. I mean, aside from the post, the 10 is the horse to beat. Well, it's
yeah, and they're 2%. Manny Franco and David Donk. I mean, I don't see it here. They've been trying this for a year now, and literally 1 win in 50 tries. And you've got a lukewarm favorite here in English Breeze, and Donk hasn't been having a great meet whatsoever. From an SOR perspective, the horse definitely fits as a class dropper. But, he has a higher EE morning line than his regular morning line. And, he really hasn't done much running. I mean, this horse has no tactical speed. And if we go way back here, the last time this horse won was at Santa Anita in August of 2019. So this was over, 2 years ago, the last time that this horse even found the winner's circle. And so, in my opinion, this is a 10 horse that you're absolutely trying to beat if this is going to be favored.
Do you need the 2?
I didn't like the 2 either. I mean, I literally think we're going to get a horse that's going to be between 5 and 10 to 1 on this race. This David Donk is sneaky on the turf. David Donk's not sneaky at all, John. David Donk can't win right now.
Dude,
what's sneaky about finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th? I don't see it here, guys.
Yeah. He doesn't win very often, does he?
No, not at all.
All right, man. Let's go to the next. Dude, this is a tough allowance race. Wow. This is a tough late pick 5. Like, they got big fields. That makes this nice, right? I mean, and they've had a good, end to the meet. Some nice paying tickets I've heard. All right. So an allowance on the dirt. They're going 6.5. I mean,
this one was interesting, and not only there's a lifetime 1, you've got the horse Baby Yoda in the 8, which how can you hate that name? That might be the most popular horse on the board on Saturday, and he'll probably be overbet, even though I do kind of like the horse.
It's Scotty Longshot, bro. It's Scotty Longshot.
I know. I hate it when the horses I like have really cool names because then they always get overbet. It's kind of like a lot of these syndicate groups, like the My Racehorse horses always get overbet because there's 7,000 owners. And so it's like everybody's betting their horse to win every single time they run. And I see this with horses with really cool names. But yeah, Baby Yoda's a play in here. Absolutely. Last time out was able to get the win off of Maiden 2 back and actually got a win at Saratoga. So we know that this Baby Yoda creature definitely likes this dirt at Saratoga. But can we be real? The real horse to beat here is Ducal. You get Manny Franco and Brad Cox. This horse had a dead heat in his maiden at Churchill, which I remember watching that race back in June.
Yeah.
The pace and then pounced. Was a little bit closer last time out, breaking his maiden, going 7 furlongs at Saratoga. And we all know 7 furlongs is a very tough configuration to win at. It's kind of in between that. Okay, am I a miler or am I a true sprinter? And so I think you have to be a lot more tactical when you're trying to sit and win off a 7 furlong race. So I definitely wanted the 3 and the 8 on my ticket. And then I was kind of searching a little bit. When I was using the ticket generator, I'm definitely, going to be pounding the 1 public sector to start off the pick 5 in my own tickets. But I felt like I could probably afford to go, 3 or 4 deep in this leg. And the next question that came up for me in race 10 was, who's the next horse that I'm going to use on the ticket? And then the 9 came up as the top pick because you get Castellano for Chad Brown, which I don't think Javier's really riding his best right now. This horse should be much the favorite. I mean, Crowded Trade, look at the races that this horse is coming out of.
Yeah.
He went to the Gotham and finished second by a nose, literally. Ran third in the Wood, goes to the Preakness and finishes 5th, which wasn't that bad. I mean, it showed he could go long. Then they bring him back to the Amsterdam. He should have absolutely, competed in that field, but finished third. I don't know what they think of this Crowded Trade horse, but he has a 72 SOR. Just from strict class, he should be the best. But I'm going to also try to beat this horse because, once again, another horse that hasn't won since his maiden. They had super high hopes for. They probably didn't place this horse the best, even though I think Chad Brown is the best in the business at placing his horses in spots where they can win. And he thought very highly of this horse. So I'm going to use the 9 because I'm not stupid and I don't want to get beat by Chad Brown, but it's a very defensive use here. And so, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. The other one I was looking at was this 6 horse Olympiad. And I like that the horse has taken money in his first 2 starts. So it definitely was some barn noise on that horse. Now you get 8-1. You get 12% to win on a horse, that's a little bit higher priced in odds. He hasn't faced this type of company, but his GSR definitely stacks up. And the horse is tactical. He can sit off and he likes to pass horses. And again, he's won at 7 furlongs, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, so you're, what'd you say, 3, 6, 9, 8?
Yeah, so 3, 6,
9.
8, 9.
Yeah. I mean, this is an interesting race. I mean, to me, this thing is it's wide open. I mean, I guess you get rid of the 7. I mean, 7's freaking 2%, dude. I mean, these are these races where these bombers happen. But, I think you found, the 6 is interesting with Alvarado and Mont. I mean, this horse, it seems to race really well. I mean, I could see this horse coming back and winning, going maiden to allowance. I mean, the system wants to add the 4. So, I mean, the 4 is going to have to improve. I mean, for sure. Broke its maiden as well here. Velasquez from McGahee. But, I think I'm with you.
I mean, John makes a good point. Brown on the dirt. I never loved Chad Brown on the dirt here. So I mean, he's not a dirt trainer. He's had some really good dirt horses, in the past, like Good Magic, but he's not a dirt trainer. And so anytime that I can find a horse that I think is going to be favored and vulnerable that is going, on the dirt for Chad, that's a play against for me. David Donk is the favorite is an absolute play against me. I mean, this could be one of those pick 5s where I have 2 singles and then I spread in 3 of the other legs and it pays decent.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Santana has Musin here on the dirt in the 12 hole. I mean, 160. I mean, this horse is interesting, I guess. I mean, it's cutting. It's just it broke its maiden here sprinting. I mean, GSR says the horse it wants to go long though. I don't know if that tough post on the dirt way on the outside too.
At Saratoga, I don't think it matters as much. You bring up a good point on the 12. I like that horse as well. He's cutting back. and Santana sprinting, with with a young 3-year-old here. I would not mind throwing the 12 on the ticket. Now you make that point.
All right, we're adding the 12. We got rid of the 4. All right. What did we talk about? The 10? Beside
hometown, I didn't have that one. No, I was thinking, yeah. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was looking at the other Chad there. That's the one that has all the class. This is the one that's kind of, has won the allowance or has not won the allowance race yet, going long on the dirt, and did not fare very well in his sprint race. And so, this is the one that's kind of, I think, a little bit over bet on the morning line. But, I'm going to take a swing against Chad Brown here, even the dynamic duo of Chad Brown on the dirt, using the 9 defensively, though. For a 4-1 horse to only be 10-1 win percentage, that said a lot to me when I could use a Chad Brown horse that's a 72 SOR that has 20% win and the top Scotty pick and the top GSR. So I would rather not let the 9 beat me and let the 10 beat me.
Yeah. I'm with you. Cool. All right. So the grade 1 Flower Bowl. The system wants to single Warlike Goddess. Julian's riding. What's the deal?
This is the Breeders' Cup Filling Mare Turf winner. That's all. This horse is going to beat Santa Barbara and Alfique in the Breeders' Cup.
You think so?
I do. I do. I think. If you look at this horse, Julian has not even asked this horse in her last 2 starts. She galloped by My Sister Nat last time out. Just absolutely galloped by. And so for me, this was an easy single. I tried to beat her last time. Remember, we were at Del Mar, and we're like, dude, this might be the day to beat Warlike Goddess. She might not fire. Julian never even asked her to go. She's got another 2 gears left that Julian hasn't even tried to find since this horse ran at Gulfstream at 11 furlongs, 3 back. This is the race that Irad was on Always Shopping, and he looked back 3 times, and then boom, Warlike Goddess ruined my chance in the Florida Derby contest. So I really remember this one. And so, I really think that this is, probably the prep for the Breeders' Cup Filling Mare Turf for Warlike Goddess. I don't even think she's going to be asked here. And the reason I say that is because she's going against similar company that she faced last time out. You've got My Sister Nat in this race again. You got La Signore, who really runs but never really does much. And so, from an SOR perspective, this horse has already galloped at a 76 and a 74. This is just another 76. And so what do I expect? I expect another gallop from Julian Leparoux, and I expect him not to even touch the horse.
Yeah, it's if you look at this is a nice horse. She's legit, like from the 4-year-old filly. I think I get it, brother. Like, she looks good. They're giving her, they're pointing her to Breeders' Cup. You can already see it. Ran like a short campaign here, right? Didn't run here at 9.5, but outside of that, this horse wants to go long, man. I'm with you. Jillian's riding, so hopefully all will be good. But I get it. Like, I think some of these, just like you said on the one, doesn't probably want the distance. My Sister Nat, the GSR is there. She just can't win, man. So I'm with you. The 2 American Bridge is a Scotty long shot for Irad. This horse is coming from overseas.
He's on a 12-1 shot, isn't he? It's kind of interesting. Irad would not get a horse that's very respected,
dude,
in this race called the Flower Bowl. This was Sister Charlie's race. This is the Chad Brown Invitational before. 4-star Crook run this race. Sister Charlie won this race. Lady Eli won this race. I think Chad's won it like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
But my sister Nat's just not this top level horse. I'm sorry, she's not.
Yeah.
And my sister's name's Nat, literally.
You
But I can't get this horse.
know, I don't even know who this trainer is. Viewers, who is this? I mean, he's obviously, I don't know this. I would love next year to follow more of the horses or the races overseas. Maybe that's something I'll try to do. But um, I would love this someday, go over there and watch races. But who is this? I don't know who this is. Do you know who this is? On the two?
That's is that the guy that trains Aldaria?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It could be, but I thought I recognized that trainer's name from the Breeders' Cup. And I don't follow European racing all that much. I do at Ascot, and then I do when like Stradivarius is racing or when Wesley Ward sends some sprinters over. I'll always tune into those. But no, who knows? This guy, who knows? Maybe this horse is his Breeders' Cup. Look at the two. It's a Scotty Longshot.
I know it. The morning line, the morning line 6-1. I mean, I guess it's 25%. The system loves this horse, man. Yeah. I mean, Irad gets aboard. They raced a ton on synthetic, which the horse is bred for turf, man. I mean, if you look at that. I mean, it raced on all these synthetic, and then it won here on the turf at a 66, man. I think this horse is dangerous. But what are we gonna do in the last race? Do you want to go? You want to still single here? Or you want to add the two?
Single Warlike Goddess. Like I said, I think this is the Breeders' Cup Fillion Mare winner, and he might not even ask her to go in that race. I think it's down between Warlike Goddess and Santa Barbara, and so. I'm afraid to see what this horse has in the tank if Julian asks her to go. But she goes to the back. She'll go 6 wide into the turn, and she'll just gallop. I mean, that's just what she does.
So Bill said this is the first race for that trainer, man.
First race for that trainer. Well, so a lot of times when the Euros ship over, they do get a new trainer. A lot of times that happens. But I would watch replays on the two. I would watch some replays, and sometimes the first time in America for a horse isn't their best effort. We've seen that time and time again when they ship over.
Yeah, I'd be curious how long this horse has been here. Also, this is kind of interesting, but I mean that's an interesting horse. I mean, you could save with the 2 too, and just play the 2 in some other ticket or something. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to the last. The Jockey Club, so I didn't look. So if you looked, I'm gonna let you take it away, and then we can come back.
Yeah, for sure. So this race is to me, this is the wide open race. I don't trust Happy Saver one bit. I mean, I've tried trusting this horse before. He's going to be the top win percentage. He's going to be the favorite. He's Todd Pletcher. But, in the Suburban last time, that should have been a race where this horse should have relished 10 furlongs. And he didn't. I mean, he got third. And this was not his first time trying 10 furlongs. He tried it in the Jockey Club Gold Cup last year at Belmont. And so this was this horse's first defeat. This Happy Saver horse reminds me a lot of Maxfield. A lot of beating up on little guys that are just not anything. And then once you face some decent company, you're obviously going to be the star of the show. That could be the case here on Saturday. But there's no way in hell I'm singling this horse. I mean, this is a total try to beat all day for me, but used offensively. How can you not use the 2 max player? For a number of reasons. One, this horse comes out of the best races. Number 2, he's got the second highest GSR. Number 3, he's the top Scotty pick. Number 4, Santana is riding out of his mind right now. Good. I mean, I think he's riding probably second best to Saez at Saratoga this meet. The wins might not reflect that because the Ortiz brothers get a lot better mounts, and Santana typically just rides for Asmussen. But I'll tell you what, I've seen Ricardo Santana pull off some unbelievable rides on the dirt and the turf this Saratoga meet. unless one more horse. If we can use one more, I'm definitely interested in looking at Chess Chief.
I mean, I see you. I wouldn't even play if you're playing. I wouldn't even put the 4 on the ticket, and I would just play the 2. I wouldn't even. And then from a morning line perspective, I mean, the 1 the system doesn't like. I mean, it's Alvarado Mott on the dirt. I mean,
I'm against the 1 as well. I'm very against the 1. Yeah,
dude. I mean, I could see singling the 2 in a ticket potentially. Just looking at this, I mean, if we look at Chess Chief, I mean, 10 furlongs has never win 10 furlongs once. Must have, I mean, 25 grand. So Sias for Dallas Stewart. I mean, yeah, I mean, I would put I would put Chess Chief on the ticket over the 1 and the 4 personally.
I mean, in my ticket, I'm going to be singling public sector in the first leg, and then I'm going to go 4 deep here. I'm going to definitely go 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I'll leave the 1 off the ticket all day, but I definitely want to go 2, 3, 4, 5 in this leg because I think you need coverage. I really do. You know, and if the 1's going to take money, I don't like the 1 at all. I think the 4 could win if he gets back to that previous form and if he's beating up on these lower level horses here. Because, I mean, look, can you see any of these horses competing in the Breeders' Cup Classic come November? I mean, we thought Happy Saver was going to have, you know, a huge, you know, breakout performance last time out. But no, Jody, we're going against you. I don't think this Boza horse wins. Maybe Mo Forza in the Breeders' Cup Mile, but not Boza. I don't like this horse. I don't. And you know what? I'm taking a stand.
I'm with you, dude. Like, dude, that is what I would play from what we played. And with yours, you're singling in the first and having a little more coverage in the last. I mean, to be honest with you, dude, I might single Max Player here and add the 2 in the 11th race and play the 2 and the 3 is probably the ticket I would do.
I could see Max Player all day. I think he caught a sloppy track last time out, and so I think that effort was nice on that track. I'm just wondering, you know, okay, did he take a huge step forward, you know, off of that effort, or what are we going to get, the old Max Player, or is this a new Max Player? Jody thinks to disagree that she thinks the 1's going to gallop. He's saying throw out the 3. We'll see. We'll see, Jody. That's a great thing about handicapping. That's what makes this handicapping. I'll tell you what, we're at the NHC, and there's 4 horse players at the table. Me, Tom, Scotty, and Soma Bombs. And we all got to different horses on a lot of races. We all got to the same horse on a lot of races too, but that was fun having those discussions with high-level horse players, you know, where we're all, you know, really good at what we do, but we all get there kind of different ways. But, you know, sometimes we get there different ways. We get to the same horse. Sometimes we're all on 4 different horses. And so that's honestly my takeaway from the NHC was just being around a plethora of knowledge of experienced horse players and being able to talk about nothing but horses for 4 days straight. And so I don't want to miss it again.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna figure out a way to play a few tournaments. You know, if personally, I would just not even bet horizontal or verticals, and I would just rather play tournaments. That's all I'd rather do.
The tournament game is legit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy it a lot better because you get to focus on it. It forces me to focus on a set of races and just, you know, and really be focused. So I mean, that's what I like versus, you know, and you can get to know tracks and everything. So this was fun to cover Saratoga with you, brother. I mean, I mean, summer was crazy, man. I'd never been that busy. That was the busiest summer I've had in a long time, just with life and work and horse racing. I didn't play a lot, man. It's you know, to be honest with you, I'm really excited for Gulfstream Park in the winter meet. I love that track, man. And I think it's going to be fun to get back there. I'm ready, you know, to get back to routine and like get my kids in school. And like, summer was good though, and it was fun to see you in Del Mar.
Yeah, absolutely. No, dude, it has been fun doing the Saratoga meet. I know we've hit a few pick 5s. and have had a few really good, strong opinions. One that comes to mind was Cross Border winning it, 6-1, about a month ago. We hit numerous pick fives for, kind of mid-range prices. And so I'm glad that we got to do the meet. It was an interesting meet, though. They had I think 50 races total. If we got to count this week, they're probably going to hit 50 races rained off the turf for the whole meet. And so, that was tough because you and I both like turf racing. And when we have our asset, the turf race is taken away from us, it makes it more difficult to structure tickets. And so, for Saratoga to have all those races rained off and for Chad Brown to still be the guy that's going to win the meet is pretty special for him, but that's nothing new for him. But I'm definitely looking forward to covering Kentucky Downs next week. And then, you know what? We'll play it by ear. We're going to have Churchill starting up soon. We're going to have Santa Anita starting up soon. We're going to be having races leading up to the Breeders' Cup. I mean, we might figure out a number of ideas what to do with our show in the weeks going forward. Maybe we cover the Breeders' Cup Challenge races. It's going to be fun. I know that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I think having a little bit of tracking to Breeders' Cup would be fun. That would be, and we get a lot of good coverage just on races and everything. And Kentucky Downs is going to be great next week. I'm going to force myself to handicap for Kentucky Downs 100%. Once a year, all turf. So we can talk offline, but before we jump off, are we thinking we're just going to keep it for Thursday? Does that work for you?
Yeah, because Kentucky Downs already has their Sunday card out. So that's good.
They do?
We'll figure out the races at Kentucky Downs that we want to try to handicap. And I'll tell you what, you get prices at Kentucky Downs. I mean, there's full fields, huge purses, and everybody ships there. I mean, you'll have West Coast jockeys flying in. You'll have all the East Coast jockeys there for some mounts. And yeah, dude, it's here we go. Bill's got a little controversy. Dr. Shivel will win the Breeders' Cup. You're telling me after seeing Jackie's Warrior come back on Life is Good, the horse that was going to win the Kentucky Derby for Baffert, you're telling me that Dr. Shivel, who could barely beat CZ Rocket, is going to win the Breeders' Cup Sprint? I need more information, Bill. I need more information. Come on, give me a better case for it.
Oh, man.
I think that race is wide open, though. I really do. I think you could probably, once we get to Breeders' Cup, I mean, look at last year. Whitmore won at 17-1. I mean, and he's done. I think they retired him officially. And
did they?
Saturday was his last race. Yeah, I mean, he's been running. I mean, who knows? I mean, has he ran 40 times? I think he was a 7 or 8-year-old at least. And sad to see him go, but he was that horse that could always pick up the pieces.
I thought they might retire him after Derby Day, right? I will always remember that race, man, for not playing that superfecta, dude. The three of us all had 3 of the 4 horses, right? And that was when Lexingtonian hit. And but that was a warrior of a horse. He was fun to watch, and I'm glad that they let him go. Go hang out and relax.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And Greg Olson brings up a good point. He's like, you might have to go to Wednesday action hour with NFL starting on Thursday nights. Hey, if they could get the races out and the cards filled on time,
correct,
we could totally do that. But on Wednesdays, sometimes we still don't have the cards. And so, with handicapping, it would totally be on the fly. But our viewers are watching the Ohio State game tonight. They probably took Ohio State in the first half.
Well, football's back, man. I'm ready for my Seahawks, and Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are gonna blow up the NFL, brother. I mean, it's gonna be a big year. We'll see. I mean, but I think there's a lot of opportunity. My 6-year-old just said to me, "How's that gonna happen, Dad?"
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of Metcalf, and you got Russ, and I don't know. I feel like you guys are always going to be there. I'm just wondering if you can get over that hump. It's it's tough to win the Super Bowl. It's tough to go deep in the pro season. I thought the Packers were unstoppable and the Chiefs were unstoppable last year, and look what happened. Old Tom Brady, comes knocking in, and hey, I'm going to take this Super Bowl again. I don't need the Patriots and Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, brother. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. I looking forward to some college football this weekend, and we get NFL next week. The Rams are going to destroy the Chicago Bears, and the closest team to the Bears, and they're going to be terrible. I mean, that's what they are. They're horrible, man. And I like to see the Colts win. I mean, I'm not technically like a Colts fan, but I live in Indiana, so I like to see the Colts win. But I like seeing the Chiefs win too. But yeah, the Bears, they got a lot to figure out. But they got Justin Fields now as quarterback. But I think that the Rams are going to definitely welcome him to the league in week 1.
Well, you had Stafford get traded to the Rams, right? And Goff goes to Detroit. So I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great NFL season, man. I mean, getting fans back in the stands is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to the Seahawks home opener in 2 weeks. So.
Oh, nice. So Cindy's saying that she doesn't see the races the same way that I do this week. And you know what? That's great because we are both handicappers and we get different opinions. So here's what we'll do on next week's show. Since we're doing Kentucky Downs, we'll just do a review of last week's card at Saratoga and how the pick 5 went before we do the show on Kentucky Downs, because I think we should definitely review what we talked about and what we said to look for in the week prior. So yeah, let's do that.
That'd be good, brother. And I think you're right. I mean, it's good to have different perspectives. That's the fun of horse racing, right? You're not going to always agree with people and talk through things. I love having a tool to do that, right? I mean, it allows me to interact and everything. For me, I love it, man. Yeah, Greg said he always sees the races. Maybe it's more Brady always sees the races that you see.
No, that's also true. Yeah, got me into horse racing. Greg Olson, right there, man. That guy can pick a horse. He can pick a horse with the best of them.
That's awesome, man. All right, brother. It was good to see you. Kentucky Downs next week. I'll talk to you before then. I know we're gonna catch up, and I just love doing this with you. It's good to see you, man. And viewers, thanks for coming. It was a good summer, man. I mean, it exhausted me. I'll tell you that, man. I mean, it was fun, but and again, I'm looking to get back to it. Breeders' Cup's going to be awesome. I mean, I can't wait. It's the best of the best, man.
It is, and it's only like 10 weeks away, and then we'll be at the Breeders' Cup. So I don't know if I'm going to a track until then. Nice to have a little break though. It was busy, getting to every place I wanted to get to. I still didn't get to Saratoga this summer. But I'm definitely not going to miss out on the Breeders' Cup. So that's the next destination on the calendar.
Yeah, I don't know where I'll end up next. I'm going to the Derby next year, 100%. So I've never been. But where will I go before that? I don't know. I've been to Santa Anita, so I don't need to go back there. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Maybe something's on the destination list.
Yeah, great seeing you too, Rodney. It was nice to see you again. Best of luck, Cowboys over the Bucks. Here we go.
Man, I'm playing in a fantasy football, dude. Fantasy football league. If anybody plays fantasy football, you'll find this funny. There's 18 teams, dude. So, it was an interesting draft. But related to that, I have Dak Prescott as my quarterback for the Cowboys. So. I hope he decides that he's going to show up after getting hurt.
Yeah, he will show up, man. But man, the Cowboys, they're tough. So, all right, guys, have a good week. We'll reconvene with you guys next Thursday night at 9 Eastern.
All right, good to see you, brother. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.